When you're bored, you need to be meditating. When you're bored, you need to be meditating. Because how many times have we been bored? Have you been bored? And then that boredom led you to doing the exact thing that you've been trying to get away from. It led you back to the same addiction. Holy shit. What is this? What is that? Is that a rabbit? Oh my God. What the fuck on earth? What is that doing here? Oh man, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get the fuck up out of here. I was about to go that way too. I think that was a sign or something saying I shouldn't go that way. But how many times have we been bored and that led you to doing the exact same thing you don't want to do? You get bored one day, you just laying there, and that makes you go on your phone. Now you scrolling on your phone for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours. Next thing you know, you beating your meat. Next thing you know, you 3 relapses in. You done nutted 4 times just because you was bored and you didn't, you mean? And on the other hand of that, we'll be like, oh, I gotta feel my boredom now. And you'll try to catch the urge. You'll try to fight the urge. You'll try to flee the demon of lust. You'll try to run away from it. How long are you gonna run away from this urge? Where's the virtue? Okay, where's the change? And how are you a better person because you filled your schedule so much that you don't even have time to beat your meat? And you're fighting this urge every day. I guess there is virtue in that. Because you're at constant fucking war with a nature of yourself. But how is that effective? How long are you going to keep running from this urge? How long are you going to fight this urge? What's going to happen if you've been grinding so hard and you break your fucking wrist and you can't work out no more? What happens when you get fired from your job? What happens when you reach the goal that you've been trying to reach and now you don't have to work as hard? What happens? You're not a changed person. You just change everything else. That's why we don't want to combat these urges. We can fight them in the beginning. It's cool to fight them in the beginning when they're still weak and they're still young. I'm about to have to just jump this river, y'all. I'm about to have to just jump it. The water's rising. The water's rising. And I gotta jump this. Do I make it? I usually make it, but I always land in the water a little bit. I got a cup in my hand and shit. Fuck. Of course I made it. But like, you get what I'm saying? When is it gonna stop that we stop fighting these urges? That's why I say to meditate. Meditate on it. When you're bored, just sit down and meditate. Because what this will do, by meditating on this feeling, meditating off this boredom, what this will do, it will change the frequency of the thoughts that you're having. It'll change the vibration of the thoughts you're having. It's going to change the pattern that your mind is thinking. So usually we're walking around in a fight or flight mode most of the time. We're on a hamster wheel. We're solving problem after problem after problem, doing thing after thing after thing. What is life giving me that I need to get done? What do I need to get done in order to survive? Eat my food, make my bed, go to work, come home, do dishes, clean, work. You mean running on this hamster wheel, open our mouth, every problem that's come right down our mouth, pause. But when you stop, when you get off the hamster wheel, when you sit down and think, okay, I chose to be this person. I told myself I wanted to be this person. This is who I want to be. These are the things I want to do. I don't want to do this every day. I don't want to beat my meat. I don't want to watch porn. I don't want to smoke cigarettes and weed every day. I don't want to drink and get drunk. This is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. When you sit down and meditate and say, okay, this is what I want from this. Give me the answer to this. help me with this. You'll sit down and then the answers will come to you. Your mind will filter out the bullshit. It's gonna say, okay, when you go into nature, right? I'm in nature right now. What do you see? Trees, branches, shit like that, leaves. If I were to come into nature and say, I'm looking for a red bird, I'm looking for a cardinal, all of this shit I'm not gonna see it. I'm gonna see it, but I'm not gonna see it. Regular birds flying past me, blackbirds, my mind won't even pick those up. It's gonna be irrelevant to me. But if I see something red flying down there, I'm gonna know it's a red bird. Immediately, I'm gonna say that's a fucking red bird, that's a cardinal. So when you're not meditating and you're going through life, you have all this noise. You have all this background noise. And you start to think it's important. You start to think this shit means something. I gotta solve this. I gotta get that tree, that tree, that tree, that tree, that. No. When you meditate now, your mind fucking filters all that shit out. And that's when we breathe and we bring our energy up. That's what the third eye chakra is responsible for. We bring our energy up through all these chakras and they all align. So our third eye is gonna say, well, actually, the crown is gonna give you the ideas. And the third eye is gonna see them, it's gonna look for them, it's gonna look for opportunities. It's gonna remember, what did I see that I can use now? So your brain, your mind is gonna filter out all this bullshit and it's gonna give you ideas to find that red bird. It's gonna say, all right, we're making videos, we wanna make a book, we wanna write a book. All right, how can we make the chapters of the book? What names of the chapters you mean? How should we layer this book? How should we make a layout? Now, you're gonna start thinking about old things that happened. You're gonna start thinking about all the knowledge in your brain, and that idea is gonna come to you just from breathing. However you meditate. I can't say exactly what's gonna happen when you do it. But the answers will come. And now, instead of trying to run from this urge, instead of trying to fight this urge, fight this boredom, you've embraced it. Now, you're like, all right, bet. Now, you're on a whole different frequency than you were 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Now you're aligned with that fucking, with that identity, with that fucking mindset that you wanted to be on. I know this sound like the manifestation shit. I don't want my shit to ever sound like that, because them niggas be corny. They be regurgitating the same shit, you mean? But it's serious. I'm serious. It's true. Like, when you see something and you're trying to avoid it, whatever you resist persists. Who said that? Either Alan Watts or the guy who wrote Letting Go. I think it was the guy who wrote Letting Go. I don't know why I can't think of his fucking name right now. But he said, whatever you resist persists. So if you're trying to keep running from boredom, you're trying to keep running from relapse and running from beating your meat, it's going to come back to you. That's what you're focused on. You're focused on running from it. When you change the frequency, you change the vibration, you change the focus. When you look for that red bird, you look for what you're focused on. You look for what you want in that meditation, in your mind. You're going to get that, because your external world is only a reflection of your internal perspective. We know this. We know that fact. Your external world is only a delayed version of what was happening in your head. So when you change what's happening in your head, when you focus on what you want, then life will start giving you opportunities. The universe start giving you ideas. It'll start making you think a certain way. You'll hash these ideas out in your head. Then you're gonna see them in real life. Now this is when you have to put your body in motion. Because remember I said, we align. Meditation is aligning us physically and mentally. But meditation is sort of like turning on the engine in your car. It's like swapping out the engine. I'm not swapping out. I mean, you can swap it out. But it's like turning on the engine. You got the car running now. It's warmed up. You got the GPS in now. You put the GPS in. But now you got to actually drive the car. And it's so much easier to drive the car when you have the GPS in and you have the engine warmed up. When you try and just hop right in the car and just drive that bitch away from wherever the fuck it's going, you're not going to be able to drive. The car's going to be cold as shit. You're not going to know where you're going. You're just going away from this motherfucking, from this cop car. And now they on your ass. You don't know where the fuck you going. You in a random ass neighborhood you never been to before. Trying to run from the cops. They going to get on your dumb ass. They going to box you in. You feel me? So when you put the GPS in, you start getting more accustomed to the neighborhood. And the more and more you align, now this your fucking neighborhood. You can duck off in the corner from these niggas. The point is, when you're bored, meditate. Because instead of trying to fight the urges and run from them, you're going to go towards what you actually want. And this is why it's important to have an intention when you meditate. Set an intention for that shit. When you go in randomly, you kind of just get random results. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people tell me, they're like, I've been meditating, nothing's happening. I don't feel any different. I'm like, all right, you could not be meditating right. Or you don't have an intention. What's your intention? What are you meditating for? When you have a random input, when you're like, all right, give me something random, universe. It's going to give you something random. You're not even going to know what to do with the answer that you're getting. Because you're not even going to know that they're answers. You're just going to think that they're thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Go in there with the problem. Go in there and say, before you go, have the intention. Like, I want to figure out the chapters to this book. I want this intention. I want this. Give me this. The universe will give it to you. God will give it to you. Why wouldn't he? No matter how long it takes, if you're willing to sit for 20, 30, an hour, 2 hours, if you're willing to sit for it and keep coming back day after day after day, you're going to get the answer. No matter how big or small it is, you're going to get the answer. So have the intention, stop running from your urges, and change the perspective. Somebody who if you never had beat your meat and you were above that from the start, if you were above, like, this is disgusting, I'm not doing that. You wouldn't have to fight these fucking urges. You wouldn't have to, somebody can sit down. The real test of strength is, and I think, I'm a big proponent of this. The real test of strength, the real show of character, the real testament of how much you changed and how much work you've actually done is if you could sit down in your room by yourself for a whole day and not beat your meat. No phone. You mean like no circumstances. You're not busy. You have such idle time. You could sit down in your room and not beat your meat. And it's not to the point where you got to fucking tie yourself down to a fucking wall just to not do it. You might have the urge a little bit. Cause you mean your mind feeds you shit. Your body's gonna have urges. But you have so much, it doesn't even appeal to you anymore. That's the real test of strength. Not you can drown yourself in work. You can work yourself so much you have no energy to spare. That it might work. It might work. But like, come on, like, why would you want to do that? Cause it's just. I don't like that. I don't like that method. I don't like that method at all. It's cool when you first start, you mean? And if you're in that season right now, you got to learn your season. If it works for you, then it works for you. That's what I'm saying. There's no one size fits all. There's no one way. It's nature, bro. Go whatever the fuck way you want. But that's at least for me. And set the intention. Focus on what you want to do. Focus on what you want to be. And meditate and change your fucking whole mindset. Prime yourself for that. And then you'll go towards that. Okay? But I hope this helped y'all. I'm trying to think if I got anything else for you. I don't for today. I'm gonna drop another video sometime in a couple of days. I haven't really dropped in a while, just because I've been in the lab focusing, you know. And I actually got this video idea from a meditation. I meditate on all my videos. I try to give you guys the most, I try not to put out no filler. You mean like nothing that you guys already seen. Like, we know the benefits of semen retention. We know what happens when you hold your seed. We know the female attraction. We know bitches gonna be in your dick. So I try to give you guys things that you might have not even heard before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna meditate on this shit. Right now I'm about to go fucking, it's the first like sunny day like this for real. It's nice as shit outside. I'm about to go train outside. Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video, you hear me? Hope this helped y'all. Hope y'all love this. Cause I love y'all. Peace.